Hello and welcome to my podcast, Conversations with Cornelius, where I, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, discuss, chat and hypothesize on all things from fatherhood, marriage, comedy and everything else in between. From time to time, there will be special guests, but mostly it's going to be me and some regular contributors, including my main squeeze, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, aka the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. And we're off. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius with me, your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. It is Tuesday, the...
Can I just say it's 5:11 p.m.
11 p.m.
You have me here in your car at 5:11.
Tuesday, the... what date?
It is now the 28th
of May. We are in a Skoda Octavia, just beyond the banks of the River Blackwater. We've just come back from County Kerry, where I was doing a gig this evening with tonight's guest, not today's guest, tonight's guest. I'm going to bring him out to the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the stage the Mind Guy regular contributor.
Cornelius, thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it. You bought me chips, you got me some sort of burger, and you've just pulled this podcast out of me. So thanks for that.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Appreciate
you're
that.
very welcome. That was the price of. That's how much you cost.
I thought my performance now was enough. I thought you would just whisk me away, take me home, fucking slap me in the back.
You
say,
performed very well tonight down in the Shire Cafe in Kingdom. We were doing a gig down there tonight. It's a comedy club that runs during the summer. And myself and the Mind Guy were down there tonight, along with Dave Horgan and Aaron McCarthy, and we just did the first half and fucked off.
They have a podcast, do they? Those boys.
They don't have a podcast together.
Okay.
Aaron has a podcast, and I don't know the name of it.
Is it good?
I don't know. I haven't listened to it, but I saw clips online, and they made me laugh.
Then it's good.
Yeah, the clip that they put up made me laugh very, very hard. Actually, I must send it on to you. But yeah, so we're it's like, do you want to describe the scene?
Yeah, it's dark. It's 11 o'clock at night. I usually go to bed in about 10 minutes.
Right.
That's the scene.
That's the scene.
That's the crack, like, that's the vibe.
Okay. What about the shimmering night
Not getting that, no.
illumination of the street lights?
I know you're trying to romanticise it, but I'm tired. It's you whisked out these two microphones. The two of us in a car.
The sky is dark and brooding. The clouds seem to whisper. They seem to encroach upon our car, giving us a kind of a dense feeling of
Not getting any of that now, to be honest.
You're not getting any of that?
No.
None of that?
No. Just a bit of tiredness, fatigue.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting. That's that's from the clouds.
You know what? I actually seen strange lights out over that direction there.
Yeah.
I'm pointing, but I don't know why. But I'm pointing for your sake.
Well,
Not
nobody
really for the
here
audience.
now knows where you're pointing.
Yeah, but you can.
How were they strange?
Well, I seen this green flashing light.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like literally flashing in green.
Do you believe in UFOs? Do you think it was a UFO you saw?
I don't know what it was. I must be some sort of drone, but it was super weird. It was moving.
Drones, yeah.
It was, but it was moving very weirdly, like, you know.
But drones do move weirdly. They we had a drone now and we crashed it into a tree, and well, actually, it's still up in the tree. But it was a cheap ass one. It was about like $20.
Okay.
Hunter got one, and we were playing with it down in the football field in Killavullen, and then it just flew in across the river and into a tree. But it moved really weird. It did, like, it's like they're kind of weird.
Now maybe it was a drone. That's the only logical explanation. But my wife Clau, my beautiful Mexican wife, she seems.
We don't need to know her ethnicity. Just say this.
I'm giving it a freaking descriptor.
Just say she's a
I'm
beautiful
giving a descriptor,
woman.
like, you know, she's.
I don't
Mexican,
go on
Mexican
about my wife's. You know, she's from Kerry. Well, like, she's from Kerry.
I think she's 3% Congolese as well. She did a DNA test, so she does a bit of Congolese blood. There's Western Bantu, from Africa. There's Ghanaian, Portuguese, Spanish, Native American.
I'd say you're full-blood fucking Irish.
Potato, yeah.
I'd say if they cut you open, a couple of potatoes would fall out in the ground.
But it's cool to have that much fucking different blood in you, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think? I know one of my other buddies then, her dad, he's from Ulster, and it was like 99% fucking Irish Ulster.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
There's something cool about that as well, though, isn't there? I think there's something... Look, I think, you know, fucking the person is the person, but, like, I do think having 100% ethnicity is really cool as well, but I do like the whole kind of New York, Bronx, my mother's Scotch-Irish, my dad's Italian,
Yeah, that's
my
pretty-
mother's from the Lebanon, my great-grandmother sucked a donkey one time, and I think he came in, so I'm half donkey as well. I'm half a donkey.
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't look at it like that. No.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You can't tell by my fucking tail. Fuck you.
But I do find it interesting though, because like she obviously has some West African blood in her as well, so that they could have been like brought over in the kind of transatlantic slave trade and stuff like that.
That is cool.
It is pretty interesting.
Well, not for her ancestors. It's not for, like, it's actually quite cruel for her ancestors. But Claudia gets to live her best life.
I never heard slavery be described as cool before, but you know,
Cruel is really what is like cool for Clau. She has the benefits of.
listen, man,
Of all
whatever
the-
your opinions are, that's up to you. I don't mind.
You know what I
You
mean?
know,
But like cruel for her ancestors who were probably ripped from their indigenous lands against their will, and fucking, you know,
let's take it a dark turn. I'll tell I'll tell Claude's mum and you send her
best regards.
best regards. Yeah.
Regards to Clau and her mum. You know,
And
they're
her
living the best. They're living their best life, much better than their predecessors.
Potentially, yeah. They were brought
Probably,
over.
definitely. Like they were probably just ripped from their fucking native land.
Well, no, they carry their
What country did you say? You said Banton or something?
the Western Bantus, yeah.
Where's
so
Western Banton?
I say over the west of Africa, so it could be potentially maybe Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, sort of stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
so West African, yeah. So yeah, they were probably brought over in a ship in chains potentially, but no, they're flying. So
They're flying now, yeah.
yeah.
They weren't flying though. They were actually
They were
carted across on
a ship, yeah.
on coffin ships, like. That's what they basically were. They fucking were. That's what they were called in Ireland anyway. When you were being when
There was a
during
big
the famine,
yeah.
they used to call them coffin ships. Like more people died on the way over
100%.
than. That's slavery. Nice little fucking segue into the Irish famine there from slavery.
You know, we did very well. Just to reiterate that we also had issues as well back in the past. You know, it wasn't just them, sure. It was just
I think fucking everyone has issues. The
Yeah.
only people who haven't had issues are the domineering aggressors, who were probably the English, the Dutch, the Spanish, the Portuguese.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
They were the four kind of main villains back in the day. Like,
Yeah, but I assume they had their issues as well, though. Do you know what I mean?
what kind of issues would they have?
I don't know. They kind of drove the slave trade as well, though. I'm just trying to be kind of
Yeah.
the devil's advocate here, and just to say that maybe they didn't.
And
have
it's
it
still
going.
alive and well, man. The slave trade, by all accounts.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be huge in various parts of the world, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Do you know,
yeah.
still like even more, I would say prominent now.
It's so disgusting when you think about it, like, isn't it? Genuinely,
Well,
like,
you were laughing. You thought it was cool a minute ago, but
cruel, mate. Cruel.
you're trying to
Like
rewrite history.
I said, it was cool for Claudia. She has all the benefits
Mm.
of, you know, like like having all that blood, all that heritage, all that history. But for the actual people that she's related to down the line, cruel. Very cruel for those
back
people.
At the old tape again, but sure, I'll take a word
But
for
sure,
it.
look, listen, mate. The last time we did this, I went back and listened to a tape and proved you were wrong. Do you want me to do it again?
Do you know what? I'm actually willing to bet that I could be right on this occasion.
Okay.
I think you were using that cool word, and maybe incorrectly. No, you can apologise now, and we can just leave it go. And I'll go into Clow a little bit later. And I said, look, Cornelius was a bit inappropriate.
No.
About your ancestors.
I think it's. I stand by what I said. Cool for Claudia, cruel for her ancestors.
Okay, so not cool towards slavery.
No.
Okay.
Very uncool towards slavery.
Okay.
I categorically stand by being an anti-slavery person.
So you've changed your mind, so that's what you're saying.
No, I'm steadfast in my opinion.
Oh, you were always that opinion?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What's your opinion of it? You're kind of pro it, are you?
No, I'm actually, I love my wife. She's Mexicano, part African as well. And I love through all those, yes.
So, what?
I'm tired.
All right.
They're very deep issues. They're
They're
very
very-
Corpus 11.
Well,
We're after
and you're trying to tell me that the brooding sky has got nothing to do with these conversations, mate.
But
like,
I don't know, you brought it up, did you? You ran about my wife's DNA for some
I think
reason.
you brought up your wife's DNA.
I probably did, alright. No, to
You
be fair.
bring up Claudia's ethnicity every time we're on
I
here.
do. Well, people can't really give out to me then if I'm married to, a different person. You know?
Why would they give out to you?
I don't know. Maybe people take me wrong sometimes.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah. Do you know yourself?
Well, how would someone take you wrong? Now, give me an example of you being taken up wrong.
Do you know, I might say something on this and it might be misconstrued.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Actually, do you get is there many, like, this isn't recorded now this time around, but I was looking at your YouTube views. They're actually not too bad.
my
When I
YouTube
say-
views.
Yeah, actually not too bad. You were getting a bit of feedback there last week.
They're okay. They're not great, but like YouTube, like I was telling you there, I'm shadow banned at the moment from Instagram and Facebook, so I've come off. I've deactivated them, and I'm kind of focusing on. I'm focusing on the likes of TikTok and Twitter, but I do want to put more effort into YouTube. All right, but it's
It's different to a platform, is it? It's just completely different. So it's like rebuilding and restarting.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that?
yeah, like of all the views out there, a view on YouTube is apparently a way more valuable than a view on TikTok.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you could accumulate maybe millions. I was just listening to a snippet there, so you could accumulate millions on TikTok, but it doesn't really translate to any huge money or of any kind. Very little.
Well, the monetization on TikTok is totally different to the monetization on YouTube. You're definitely more financially rewarded on YouTube for content that's on YouTube. But where you kind of get, I suppose where TikTok is, where I find value in TikTok is, I'll put up a sketch. It might go into a couple of WhatsApp groups. It might do well online, and that'll transform then into ticket sales.
Yeah.
Down the line.
So it's kind of more indirect rather than direct, I would say. Yeah.
It's more indirect, whereas I do think that on YouTube there's unless you've huge numbers, it doesn't correlate as quickly into ticket sales as TikTok.
But you're 100% right. Yeah, YouTube be more kind of, it's way more international anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, it is more international. Yeah. Like even that comment that you're talking about, I think that guy's from the States. He said, I don't know how, he was saying something like, I don't know how I ended up here, but I'm 30 minutes deep and it's okay or some shit.
Yeah, nice lad. Nice lad. I mean, he complimented us, so I mean.
He's got taste.
He's got taste, yeah, but then he went to mention something about porn.
Yeah.
So he
did
he did, yeah. He said
what was he saying about porn?
He was listening. I think one of his interests is some sort of midget porn or something like that. And then he found us through that.
He found us through midget porn.
I'm just quoting, but probably misquoting what he said, but something like that.
Have you ever watched midget porn?
I've never watched midget porn, no.
How
do you even search? Why would you search for that? Like, I don't. But anyway,
I think I might have seen a bit of midget porn back in the day.
And what's the?
It's just like regular porn, only smaller.
Is this going up, like?
That's all it is, though. Like, it's like just, like.
But why would that be? Do you know what I mean?
I think I saw Lego porn as well one time. Like
Lego porn.
Like there's like Lego porn is just like Lego lads having it off.
That's weird. And I suppose you get giant porn as well. The bigger people.
Gigantism. Oh yeah. I don't know. I've never seen that. Now I pay good money to see that.
Is this the?
Oh fucking man!
Yeah, well,
I'm glad that we put a lot of effort and research into this podcast.
Oh God! Okay.
What other types of porn are out there? Smurf. I'd love to see some Smurf porn.
We could go down a different.
Do you know the thing about the Smurfs? There was only ever one girl in the Smurfs.
Smurfette, I know her well.
Smurfette, you know her well, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But genuinely, like, why was there only one girl? Like,
yeah.
How were they all?
I don't even want
born?
to think about what was happening there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
She got on with it. Like fucking hell.
Yeah, no.
But how did they all get? Like, how did Papa Smurf be born? Like, where was his mom? Where were the women Smurfs?
That's a very good question. But I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with their culture. There's one female per group.
Right.
Do you know? I mean, who's to know?
Can you remember what the evil person was called?
No, I actually couldn't tell you. No.
Gargamel.
Gargamel. That's a good memory.
Yeah,
Gargamel. How did the Smurfs finish after? Or just
I missed the last season.
You missed the last season.
I turned 9.
I actually really like the old classic. Remember there was the raccoons as well.
Oh, I loved the raccoons.
Bernie. Was
Yeah.
it Bernie? Yeah.
And then there was the evil guy who had the factory across the river.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there was a fella with a big long nose.
Do you remember the team tune to that? The team tune to that, man.
Oh
was
my God.
absolutely amazing.
You're dead right.
I'm going to find it here now and play it. It's absolutely amazing. The team tune to the, what was it called again? The fucking raccoons, isn't it?
Was it? Yeah, I think it was called the Raccoons. Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it here.
The team songs. Okay, tip my tongue, but yeah, no, they're classics. Back in the day, though, there was cartoons. There was something really cool about them. They kind of appealed to everyone, you know.
Oh, okay. Let's listen to it here. Like this is the fuck head. 1 second there now.
Sorry.
Talk away there amongst yourselves.
Oh, here we are. It's a long intro now, Claire.
Wait up when it starts. Laying shadows in the night. Don't have to be don't be okay. Wipe that tears from your eyes.
Remember that guy?
Yeah. 1985. I was,
Don't do team songs like this.
nah. I was 2.
It gets your unreal here now. Listen, that. 1, 2, 3.
That's cool.
We run with us. We all play. But. I see you. You're with us.
No, we won't play it all because we got caught for copyright infringement.
I think we've definitely gone past that. Is it 30 seconds or so? What's the limit there?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
hope they won't take it down. But anyway, it's not the full song anyway. It's
No,
not the
I
full
mean,
song.
it was only a good 2 minutes.
Yeah, we might play out on it as well.
I think that's nice. It'd be like reminiscent to our radio days. We kept playing the same comedy clip.
The same comedy clip every single week.
Was it Bill Cosby?
Bill Cosby.
That didn't age well, did it?
Little did we know that
Yeah.
that was a bad one to be putting out there. We had Bill Hicks as well.
Did we have Bill Hicks?
We had
one
Bill
week?
Hicks, yeah. We had Bill Hicks.
That was a couple of weeks. No, we had that job for a couple of months, did we not?
We had that job for about. We got a warning on our third shift not to be making death threats to the public for ringing in and asking us to do our job properly. And then on the so we got a warning. Do you remember he actually rang us? And
That was
he
a
said-
hard warning, yeah.
And he said, just don't do that again. The show's great. This is Cork FM back about 8 years ago, 9
Are they
years.
still going, actually?
I don't know if they're still going. So then we decided if we can't fucking make death threats on the radio as a joke, do we even want to work here?
Well,
And it was also Saturday and they weren't paying us. And
So what did we do for the last show? We brought in a camera crew.
brought in the camera crew and we filmed it and we went wall to wall with death threats. And then your man rang me. He fired me. Of course, you were in the background lurking as usual, like fucking taking no responsibility for anything, just laughing. He rang me and he started laughing. He goes, I can't remember his name. He was a big heavy fella and he was lovely. And he was just laughing. He was like, well, look, obviously, you know, you're obviously fired, like. Oh, for fuck's sake! When I think back of it,
Do you know what? No, I was going to say it was fun, but it was.
it was very fun. But we only prepared for one episode.
And that was a good episode. That was good quality.
It was, but it was only one
Yeah.
episode. Then we were like, we're not going to do this again. There's too much work involved in this.
Yeah.
Preparation is not key.
We needed producers, did we really?
Yeah, producer is what even in podcasts, like producers are very, very
I
important.
mean, look where we are. I mean, there's no kind of thinking behind this, is there? We're
No.
just sitting in the car.
We're in the Octavia now, lads.
Yeah, and we're just looking around.
Looking around.
But you know, we do cover kind of those heavy things as well. Like
We've gone
slave
through
trade,
slave trade, racism, the raccoons,
midget porn.
midget porn,
I mean-
Smurf porn, Lego porn.
We've hit it all, really, all the good stuff.
All
like.
the top stuff has been hit tonight, like, you know, and
No, tell me, like, what other guests are planning now for the remaining season? Do you have a season of this? Do you take a week off?
no,
you don't. You just
No.
go straight through.
no,
So you don't give your fans a break at all from you.
at Christmas I'll take a couple of weeks off, and sometimes I'll take a bank holiday weekend off. But I try and give an episode out to the patrons every week.
It's still going, so is it?
It's going strong, yeah. It's going great. Thanks be to God.
Very
Touch
good, yeah.
wood,
No,
touch
she's
wood.
very happy now with that.
And if you're interested in signing up, please look at the link is in the description. And it's a £5 a month, less than the price of a pint. And there's like over 100 backlog of episodes there. So definitely check those out.
That's a lot.
If you're a new episode listener. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine too. Just listen away here and like, share, and subscribe, and tell all your friends. Now that's all
That's good plugging.
that's the PR out of the way.
Yeah,
you know,
you've done
that's
that
the
before.
dirty work out of the way. I have to do that now. I have to do that for the suits.
I didn't know that. That's very good, yeah.
If I'm in front of the suits now on Monday, they'll be like, "What have you done this week?"
Well,
Also, sorry, I'm also in the Cork Opera House on the 3rd of September. Tickets are at the Cork Opera House. That is flying. There's 12 tickets gone already.
how
So
many?
1,000 seater. 12 gone.
12 gone over 1,000.
Yeah. Well, like I mean,
They'll pick up though, would it? Would it? Do they pull the show if you don't get?
sometimes people ask for refunds. You know,
Yeah.
before they even you know. So
Tell me what's the minimum amount before the venue just go, lads, listen,
I'd
we
say-
call it. Like.
14, 15.
40, 50.
So I'm hopefully now this week a couple of people will buy them. Chris Kent is going to be with me.
He'll sell out.
He's very good, and he's been on the podcast a few times as well. Also a regular contributor, and he is. I'm putting all my hopes on him.
Well, no, in fairness though, I think he's a cert.
And if it fails, then
That's his fault,
we
really,
failed.
Yeah.
And if it's a success, well then, like sure, I mean, like the podcast, like it's called Conversations with Cornelius.
Is that the name of the show?
Yes.
Oh, so that's where you went wrong. Why didn't you put his name up front?
Yeah,
and
but
centre?
it's like with Chris Kent and that's in capitals.
Is that big
And
capitals?
then
Yeah.
mine like tiny.
Oh, okay.
You need a magnifying glass to see what it is, but you just see Chris Kent.
Why didn't you just go Chris Kent show and just ignore?
I
it?
asked them, but they were like, say it to Chris, and he. Well, I was just afraid to say it to him. So I just told the lads that he'd said no, so we have to go with
Conversations with Cornelius with Chris Kent.
Listen,
bold
there's
letters.
12 gone, man. I'm not even worrying about it. That's like
But you brought it up, so
Did I?
Yeah, no, you were.
I've lost a lot of sleep.
She was
Yeah.
stressed over it, right?
Yeah, no, my hair's falling out.
Yeah, no, I can
You
see
know,
that.
I need to get my DNA done. I'd love to know where I'm from.
I'd say there's a bit of Viking in you, you know.
Why would you say that now?
I don't know. I was just saying. It's just.
Smell a rape off me.
No, no, I just wanted to cheer you up a bit, like.
Ah,
but,
yeah.
No,
well, they were rapists, like
They were.
They literally people like to fucking eulogize about the Vikings, like, oh, they were great boatsmen.
well, I don't know. Did they say that? I mean,
They were great
They rape
boatsmen,
and pillage and all this and that, like.
Yeah,
I think
and
that's what
stealing. They used to just go into monasteries and. Do you ever watch Vikings? Yeah.
I seen the first couple of seasons. Yeah.
It's really good.
Now, how historically accurate is that thing? Like?
I'd say it's not
There's a bit of-
fact. Like, I mean, there's no way of getting it 100% fact because there was no cameras back in the day. Like,
No cameras, you say?
so it's all word of mouth.
No socials or anything. No.
They did have TikTok.
They have TikTok.
The Vikings did have TikTok, as far as I know.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, clocks, like they had clocks. You know.
But no TikTok as such.
This is. If you're still with us, lads, I just want to say you're doing a great job.
What are we on? We're on 20 minutes.
We're on 20.
We're doing
we're-
very well.
we're
What's
on-
actually, we're on about minimum cut-off points. What? Where are we
We'll
doing?
get to 30.
We get to 30 minutes. Okay,
We'll get to
no,
30.
We're doing very well.
We've 8 minutes to go. We haven't stopped talking.
No, we tend to ramble though.
But what's good about it is there's very little repetition.
Well, that's what we do. We just ramble what we see.
Mm.
Yeah. So we could do this. We actually, did you ever think about what's the longest kind of marathon world record podcast? Like, is there somebody out there with like a 36-hour just continuous flow?
I'd say easily. Well, how would you do? How like? You'd have to-
This just reminds me, Cornelius. Actually, it was the longest comedy gig. It's just when a guy telling jokes.
Tommy Tiernan had that. And
Was that him?
He had it for a while anyway.
And how long was that?
I think it was like fucking 26 hours or something like that.
And was he playing to an audience, like real time audience, or was he just fucking?
I don't know, but I did a thing years ago. It was an improv thing. I did it in. What was the name of that place across the way from the Opera House? It's closed down now. It was fucking really cool. Camden Palace.
Oh, I do. That's gone now, is it?
Camden Palace. Do you ever go into Camden Palace?
I seen Ashley Strand's show. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I seen that show.
You could get lost inside there, man. It was like
nooks and crannies and
nooks and
yeah.
crannies
Yeah.
and rooms and hidden rooms and fucking underground rooms. And I remember being in there and I did this thing. It was called the Improvathon, and it was a 24-hour improv show set on an island. And there was a producer there, and there was like 15 or 16 of us. We were all improvisers, and we were cast as a part. And then the show was 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
Right? So they bring an audience in.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's say I think it started at around 1 o'clock on a Saturday, and it finished at 1 o'clock the following Sunday.
That's
all right. And the and each segment was 45 minutes long. So you'd have a producer, he'd come on stage, he'd set the scene, and the scene would start, and out came the improvisers, and off we went for 45 minutes, right? And then at the end of the 45 minutes, the producer came out, closed the show, the actors went off into the green room, had a cup of tea, went for a piss or whatever, had smoked a joint or whatever, and the audience went back out, and then a new audience came back in, and sometimes people from the old audience would stay.
Christ, what type of audience would you get at 3 o'clock in the morning?
So I did it from about 12 o'clock. I remember Dylan was young at the time. I think Dylan was about maybe 7 or 8 or maybe 9 at the time.
Yeah.
And I had him on the Sunday morning. And I did it from 1 o'clock on the Saturday to about 3 o'clock in the morning. It was electric, man. It was unbelievable. At 3 o'clock in the morning, there was like...
Tell me, how many people are going to this now, watching this?
So, it was a part of the Midsummer Cork Festival. Do you know that's still going, right?
Yeah.
And the audiences, like the room could hold about 100 people, and the audiences fluctuated from it being full to there being 12 people in the room.
That's mad.
To being
so completely different energy. So each time,
I remember people coming in. I remember my last segment was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. People were coming in from clubs, half cut, with their chips
and shouting. Were there good crack?
Oh, it was great, man. It was unbelievable. And there was 2 or 3 different troops. I was just a solo improviser, but it was being run by it's been run by this famous improvised troupe from England, and I can't think of their name now. And they were I got to act with these guys. I got to improvise with these guys. They were fucking Premier League footballers. I was only at the beginning of my journey. I was fucking Junior B, and they were Premier League superstars. They were unreal now. But
isn't it amazing what's been done or what has been done? That's I never heard of that. That's
an improvathon. I often wanted to do it. When I was doing improv, even with the improvised pantomime crew, I often brought it up, but look, I never pushed it or anything like that, but I always thought it'd be a cool thing to get going. But you'd have to have the right venue. And you need a producer. The producer would come on then after, you do 45 minutes, you're going back, then the new audience comes in, the producer comes back on stage, goes, previously on the island, and then he'd give a little...
Just sums it up,
gives a little synopsis, and then he'd bring on, and John... Captain John, and then on would walk Captain John, so the audience are introduced to him, was attacked maliciously by Ginger Mary, and Mary would walk on, and it was a skill,
of course
it was a synopsis that lasted about 2 minutes. Set the scene, and off it went again.
Yeah, it describes everything beautifully. It
was fucking great, man.
I never heard of that. That's really cool.
Improvathon.
Wouldn't it be cool if more stuff like that happened? Just
it's
the norm. I like that.
I love it too. It's just to you have to rely on people to go to stuff, you see.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But we were just saying earlier though, even the world of stand-up comedy, it's kind of exploding now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So people are loving it. You were describing almost I suppose the rock and roll now, isn't it?
It's fucking amazing at the moment, really. And touch wood, long way to continue. It's creeping into places where it never was before. You and me know all about the hard yards of stand-up comedy. Before COVID, travelling around trying to book gigs and fucking
in Borby of all places,
driving into small villages and towns, fucking going into pubs, trying to meet people, trying to book,
and trying to convince them or even explaining what it is.
Yeah, well, exactly. Whereas now people know what it is, and as I said, I was in Fermoy there last week or 2 weeks ago doing my solo show. Was in Mallow the next night doing my solo show. Clonakilty, I'm going to be doing it. Newmarket, I'm going to be doing it.
Are you doing Newmarket? Very good.
Newmarket for their GA team. I never told you about that. I'll tell you about that after.
Very good, very good.
Do you know what I mean? Like before in Cork, you'd be all out to do it in 1 or 2 places.
Yeah.
Now every town has it.
But that's great though. He's in rural places as well, Just
and there's audiences in rural places, and I have to say now, even there's a lot of people that listen to this podcast from North Cork, from the Mallow, Killavall and Ballyclaw area, and they're really good to support, good to support, and it's it's so encouraging. It's so encouraging because you're okay, all right, okay.
But it's nice, for stuff like that being recognised, because maybe in the past, everybody was geared towards the more kind of problem, GA, be good at GA, be good at this, be good at that. But now, I suppose the arts are being more respected. I think that's a good thing.
Well, it is and it isn't. Like, comedy isn't recognised as an art in Ireland at all. Like, I mean, you can't get a grant for comedy or anything, like, you know.
Okay, not.
No, you
okay,
can't.
fair
It's not even recognised as in the Arts Council as comedy. Yet, if you think about it, if you're going touring, like if I'm going touring, now I'm touring at the moment with my show, right?
Yeah.
I can't go touring with that show next year in Cork. I have to write a brand new show.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, and that's not recognised as, like, as a. As
Well,
a,
let's get it recognised. That's our thing. So
let's get it recognised. Let's get it recognised. Let's get the arts recognised, guys. Yeah. Okay. I think there's not much else to be said. On a.
On in the walls, till you come on.
You ready? Come on. Here we go. Oh no, this is the chorus.
we probably should have lined it up better, yeah.
This is backfiring. We're coming. Here we come. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Thanks for listening to the podcast, guys. Thank you to the mine guy.
Good luck.
All the windows are steamy. People are probably thinking we're riding. And who knows? The night is young.